Welcome, I'm Timothee from KDUP, and I'm here with Brett Sisun. Feel free to correct any pronunciation errors.
No, I like Sisun. It's Sisun, but whatever.
Good enough.
Yeah. We haven't
right.
actually talked about that yet.
We
so
haven't. We've been talking about No Country for Old Men
We
and
have.
parking maids.
Yes.
Which is still a good topic, but I guess we can talk about the task at hand. We're here live from day 2 of the Portland Folk Festival with Timothee Chalamet as Bob Dylan. It sparked my curiosity for this interview when I saw those string of words together and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Could you give us a little backstory into your act that you're going to be performing tonight and how it came about for this performance?
Yeah, definitely. So I do a monthly show, and the monthly show requires me to write a new sketch act every month. And so I kind of have this hungry black hole of idea need feeding. Yeah. And I saw John C. Reilly doing a Bob Dylan impression, and I was like, oh, I love that. But then also for some reason that week I had watched Tropic Thunder. If you guys know that, and there's in that movie Robert Downey Jr. is a guy playing another guy, and in this kind of, because I think everything is really not new, everything is kind of just collage, right, of things that are floating around for us, and those things just kind of collaged for me in a fun magic moment where I was like, oh, it'd be fun to be Bob Dylan as Timothee Chalamet because he was in that movie. Now, to me, what's interesting about this act now is that when I first came out with this, the movie was fresh. It's already been 2 years. So when I do this comedy act, I can see people go, oh, but there's like a fun moment of delay even where it's like, they're like, oh yeah, Timothee Chalamet was Bob Dylan. I think it's adding to the comedy. I think it's always kind of changing it, but that's the essential backstory. I made it for that show, but I had so much fun doing it because it's fun to talk like Bob Dylan.
It sure is.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, I mean, like, comedy definitely does come with time, and so I guess the longer the bit marinates, maybe even the funnier it gets.
Dude, yes. Well, it's interesting. Some have shelf life. Some it's like it's done, after a week. But some marinate. Yeah, some get better. I mean, like, I'm thinking of like great Will Ferrell bits from the 80s where he's like, if the moon was made of spare ribs, would you eat it? It's like, that's still such a great sketch to me. So yeah, agreed, but also disagreed in certain sense. Yeah.
There's always agreement and disagreement.
Yeah, are we fighting?
No. We're agreeing with fighting words.
We're agreeing. Yeah.
We're
totally.
agreeing hostile.
Yeah, totally. Which is honestly how most great relationships are.
Yeah.
There's like a hostile tone of love.
I'm glad that you're already classifying us as that.
Honey, we are in it. Me and you, baby. We are going all the way to Vegas for a marriage with your cameraman.
Let's go to Vermont. I guess we don't got to do that anymore. And I'm glad you mentioned Tropic Thunder as well.
Why would we go to Vermont? I'm just curious.
No reason. Don't worry about
it. Okay, damn, this is crazy, bro.
I'm glad you mentioned Tropic Thunder because when I was like talking to my mom and like describing this interview, I was like, it's basically Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Oh, great! It had occurred to you.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I guess with that, and like you mentioned Will Ferrell, do you have any other comedic influence, especially with your influence with character comedy?
Oh, with the character comedy, definitely like just Will Ferrell. Like, I just think he's so funny whenever he does anything. But like comedy, I actually really like Dave Attell, Paul Mooney, Robin Williams, and who's my third? Don Rickles. Don Rickles is my favorite comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, Don Rickles could really just razz anyone to death, and he has such moxie and verve, and he was quick, and he was, God, man, do I sound pretentious?
I've never even heard of these words. I'm learning a lot today.
Well, he's awesome, dude. You ever seen Don Rickles?
Only in sparing.
In little bits. Yeah. Great. Well, great. That's
Classic.
Great. He's the best, man. But yeah, I really love those guys. But in terms of sketch comedy, I honestly kind of got into it in a weird way because I didn't really intend to. I didn't like see a comedy sketch and go, I want to do comedy sketch. I wanted to be a passionate chef who like has a terrible meltdown, and breaks a sandwich, if that makes sense. Like, I made a sandwich with someone and then I have this flip out, and it was kind of all about my dad. I was like, I wanted to address like the iron fist of the father, that crushes us all. whether it's God or your real father or your existential, the masculine crush. And I think we all have that moment where we want to rip off the apron and be like, is this what you wanted?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, and so I really wanted to do that as a chef, and then I sort of realized that was sketch comedy. I know that sounds very pretentious, but that's how I got into it. I was like, oh, that's like what people, okay, like, sort of like if you were just saw fish in a river and you started fishing. I didn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking like, oh, other people fish. I was just like, I want that to happen. So that's what happened to me, and then actually that had really good beginner's mind to it. It was very clear. It was one of my best sketches, and then this funny cycle happens where then I discovered that people do sketch comedy, and I started thinking about it, and then pretension comes in, and then it becomes stale, and then 3 years later you find it again once you hate it again. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I just had a lot of coffee. So.
Right on. With kind of that sketch comedy and like, how has social media changed the scape of stand-up? Because I feel like it used to be a lot more taboo to be relying on crowd work and sketches, and it seems like there's been sort of a shift where that's almost like the paradigm now.
So the technology has had it's a great question. The technology has had a really interesting effect because the Instagram Reels is designed a lot like a casino slot machine. It's made for quick, like, what would we say, like just little hits, right? And that works really well with comedy naturally, because comedy in a lot of ways is little hits. Audio quality doesn't matter, and visual quality doesn't matter. So we were in the age of the album, like when I was a youth, when I was young. Is it wrong to say it that way? When I was, whatever, keep going on. When I was a youth, I'm 35, I'm still young, but like when I was 20, it was all about like albums. And now it feels like it's all about what you can do with a minute and 30, like a hit. And so I don't really think anything in the universe is intrinsically good or bad. Like I don't think it's necessarily bad, because a lot of people have gotten a lot of adventures out of it. And I don't want to be negative about that, because just think about all the, like, you guys, we're having an adventure right now because of that. I can't wait to see where this adventure is going to go with the three of us and the camera in the bathroom later. But
absolutely.
So I think that's a callback to when we met, actually.
That's the first conversation.
Please, this was not out of the blue.
Yeah. He's not just riffing,
So I don't think it's a bad. Oh, that's a great sound.
That's
awesome. I don't think it's a bad thing, but also, so that's the good of it. We get to go on cool adventures because of it. And then I would say the negative of it is that it is, I would say, homogenizing and bringing down the quality of how hard it is to do comedy back in the day. It used to be that you would be on a club circuit. So you would basically, like, the way you would be found is you would just crush in every town, and you'd become a legend, like Norm Macdonald. And people would just know of your legend. And you would go to, like, the club in St. Petersburg, Florida, and they'd be like, well, last time he was here, he was great. And you'd have to do a good 45 minutes. Whereas right now what you can do is you could have one beautiful moment, which everyone has a beautiful moment. You can cut that, put that into the slot machine, and I don't want to say you can fool yourself. You can fool yourself. You can kind of fool other people with it, but it's like, it's a whole other thing professionally, I think, to be able to do a 45-minute show. And, like, serious respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's to me what is kind of being, is it still going to get people into comedy? Yes. So I still think it's a really good thing. I think it's mostly a good thing, actually. But there's that element of it where you can kind of cheat. You could always, but you can definitely polish up a turd and people be like, wow, that's amazing. In fact, I've had that moment where I polished a really good moment, put it on, didn't work as hard on the next show. People came out to see me, and I learned that lesson immediately. I was like, oh, it has to be great every time. That's not enough. It's not enough to just publish one special moment. It's a continual process of renewal.
I wish I remembered thank you, that's beautiful. You said a expertly worded phrase that I already forgot, even though it was 20 seconds ago. Cut that. but basically the essence of it was like lying to your like pretending to yourself, and like could you speak to the role of that in comedy that is so difficult, where you almost you kind of have to like talk yourself into being this person in order to give that best product every time?
Oh man, what a great point. You also have to incorporate those things as a part of it. That's so true. It's hella Buddhist of you. Yeah, sometimes because you'd be lying to yourself to say that you got it every single time anyway. That's kind of a big part of the appeal and mystery of something as wafy as comedy and something as abstract. So incorporating that, man, that's super interesting. Yeah, because you're definitely. It's almost okay. Let me think about it. It's almost like a it's a beautiful buffet.
It's ambiance,
Yeah, I love to see 3 crock pots all lined up and ready. That's just such a great point you make. It's just like like lying is a part of the process.
Comedians are all liars.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's your point for today.
Well, you kind of got to start somewhere. Sometimes you got to be like, I don't really know if I'm good at this. I think here's the point. If you just want the external rewards, then the depths to which you are willing to lie to yourself will be exaggerated. Now, if you're willing to absorb some of your own lies and go, okay, I am doing this, and yes, I am doing this for external rewards also, but I'm caught in this. This is what I'm caught in, and I'm gonna sort of surrender to this process, even just of having to lie to myself to get myself to go on this adventure. Because you just kind of just want to go on the adventure more than anything. We all know it's like going to piss, like we're all going to be dead and you're going to lose it, and it's not, you could have a whole comedy career and then everyone could cancel you or it could turn into your living hell. It's like, it's all disappointing. It's all not going to work, but I think the adventure is juicy and like the relationship with others, so that I think you are a very smart young interviewer.
Thank you very much. We could just stop it right here, but let's continue. I want to ask a little bit more about like your own musical background, because you are a comic, but you are performing here at the folk festival, and I've seen you with the harmonica, even without the Chalamet. I'm just going to call it the Chalamet. The harmonica, I've seen you with the guitar. So I guess incorporating music into your stand-up and like kind of the legacy of that in comedy with like, I think of Adam Sandler, of that being.
Oh, hell yeah. So I actually started as a musician when I was like 20. I met my friend Jeremy Meyer. Or actually, even a little bit before that, I was in a band in college, and we were a comedy band. We were called Cosmic Jelly, and we had a song called Let's Talk About Poop. And yeah, it was like, we ripped. We had some great shows in college. We only played about 6, but it was like furiously fun. And then I met Jeremy, and Jeremy is a really amazing, very sincerely great folk singer. He should be playing here tonight. He lives in New York, but he's very much in this scene. And, he was such a powerful adventurer that I followed him, and I wanted to be a part of his world. And him and I actually started a band together called the Honey Mountain Doo-Doos. And we were a bit of a comedy band, too. But we actually did just play in the music world for about 8 years, and I always found personally that it was really cool to learn the skills of music. I really love music, but always, every time, in the period between songs is when I could really bring everything up to a whole different level. That was kind of where I shined, was like making people laugh and also just lightening the mood, or whatever it is. That was where I enjoyed performing, and playing the songs was like pushing a boulder up a hill for me. Then later, once I started just doing comedy, it was like bringing the music back in was just nothing but a blessing, because I was like, I can now do this Timothee Chalamet act. Like I know how to play guitar, but I'm not depending on anyone taking because I'm not a very sincere person. I'm pretty insincere, and that feels good for me to say. It's like I don't, I want to be sincere, but it's just like I just come out in the world the way I come out.
You can't change who you are at the end of the day.
No, it is this way. I mean, in terms of me going up and being like, the river is blue and my heart's blue, and like, it's just, I want it to be ridiculous immediately if I can't make it serious.
Especially with something like a Bob Dylan, it's almost impossible to keep that serious. He's almost he's not a very, it's like a, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah,
going
right.
in a circle.
It's a little bit of like Schrodinger's seriousness with Bob Dylan. Like,
wow.
It's like,
Well said.
you know, you can kind of like listen to him with your eyes closed and be like, what the f*** is happening?
You can't.
And then all of a sudden you like phase into the moment where you're like, this is the most beautiful thing I've
Yeah,
ever felt. And then you
exactly.
phase out and you're like, am I listening to like a cat getting injured? You know?
Am I listening to
He's
God
the
right
best,
now?
man. Yeah, he's the best, man. Yeah. But it's Schrodinger's Dylan.
Schrodinger's Dylan. That's going to be the title of this. And this was at the
That's sick.
This is at the U of O that you had these bands?
Yeah, I went to the U of O.
Right on.
Yeah, have you guys been there? Just like on a trip or something.
I went to a football game once when I was 6. I think they won. I think they played Wisconsin. Yeah. Have you been in Portland your whole life?
No, I'm actually from Denver.
Denver. Okay.
And I moved to Eugene to go to school.
Oh, okay. So you're Northwest. You're relatively new to the Northwest.
So sorry. No, I've been in Portland for almost 15 years.
Okay.
I moved to Portland in 2013, and I don't know if I'm doing the math right on that, but I moved to Eugene in 2008. I'm an old guy. Well, hey, Doyle. Oh, I just got in trouble.
I guess that's bringing an interesting perspective of, you do have your own experience, but have experience elsewhere as well. But just talking about the comedy scene in Portland, and I guess my question is like, is Portland the gift that keeps on giving comedically? It seems to me like it's an ever persisting source of comedy. So I guess talking about, if you want to talk about your experience as, you know, a relative outsider, but who has had your own experience for quite a substantial amount of time, and like seeing it from different parts of the country, and then living within it, and how it is, how it kind of forms you.
Cool, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, Portland has an incredible comedy scene. I think it's underrated. I think it is a better comedy scene to work in than LA. I think it is not as good as New York. It's probably not as popular as Austin right now, but as far as any city you could be getting better in, there are awesome shows like all over town, and people who work really hard. Laugh Basement, Preach, the comedy show, the Roast Battle. I do Martini Tonight. I'm not even naming half of all the great shows that there are, but the reason I think it's great is because, and also we have Helium Comedy Club. But just to answer your question, the way I got into it was actually my buddy Cam asked me to play piano on his show, and I was like, sure. And then we just started doing the piano went away. I just started doing comedy, and then have done a couple of years, and then did the Portland's Funniest Person competition this last year, which was really fun. I got to the finals of that, so that was kind of like, oh, I can do this now. But blah blah blah. What I think is great about the scene, man, is that there's just a lot of people who will put you on. Because when you go to LA, it's like, it's impossible to get time. It's like it's impossible. And so it's just impossible unless you're already really, I don't know, maybe not impossible. Nothing's impossible. There are plenty of people who come up in LA. It's just like when I went there, I was like, oh, this is just, it's not the same. It's not like a community. It's like a rat race.
It's refreshing to hear, because like as someone who's involved in like the hip hop scene around here, where
cool.
It honestly, like, it seems, and I'm sure it's similar in LA, but where it's not very, there's a lot of jealousy, it seems like, and so it does seem like the comedy scene around here is a lot more supportive, and it definitely does seem more like a community.
It's pretty good, man. Like, there's always going to be among comics a little bit of drama and a little bit. It's like a crew, a gossipy kind of. You know, it's
like a beta fish in a pond.
It's like beta pond fish. Wow. And whereas in the music scene, I would think there's more sincerity and teamwork, because people have to work together. There's maybe more passive aggression. So that's like a funny difference between the sort of dramas of the various types of people. But the comedians are very like, I'm in this Facebook group called the Portland Comics Board, and it's just like sipping tea every day to see what kind of drama people want to get into with each other. You know, they're like, I didn't get selected for the, you know, newspaper. Ugh. And, you know, you're like, God, pathetic. Beautiful. More.
Drama, sure. I don't even know what I'm saying. Drama's awesome. Yeah, it's just...
That's what I'm saying.
Drama is its own comedy.
Give me Facebook drama. I actually love following the Fox News Facebook just to like indulge in the stupidity.
Yeah.
But I'm like very masochistic, so yeah. So
You might honestly kind of have to be a comic to some. Would you agree with that?
100% right. You got that right.
I did this interview just to Suki. Yeah.
Suki.
I've been
Shit.
called Suzuki a million times in my
Millions.
life. You're all good. Ice time. Seems like, you know, sometimes you do have that sort of like clip in mind when you kind of have to with these days with the social media comedy scape.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's smart too.
Yeah.
I think like anytime I do a thing and I don't, but it also can rob the moment. I think the whole thing is about your relationship with yourself and bringing consciousness into that. That's what your relationship with other people is about, and that's what your relationship with your art form is about. It's about an inner consciousness. Forget the reels. You can have these moments with comedy that take you to a whole other level of adventure with people. It brings joy into their life and it brings joy into your life. And that is what we're doing it for. And if we can share that in this form, it's a great thing. But when we do it for that, we kill it every time. Because there's a demanding mind that comes in. And when there's a demanding mind in anything, it kills like your Buddha nature. It's not necessarily kills it, it just occupies the same space that your open mind would occupy. Because there's no other place for it to be. You have that area, if you're demanding, it's not even a moral issue. There's nothing wrong with being demanding of a moment. But you can't have a beginner's mind, which is what I think the beauty of comedy is all about, is really not knowing what is happening. And so to sort of reflect on that idea of you gotta have something ready for the real, I think you gotta have nothing ready. And then do your homework, get your jokes together, make sure you have it in your pocket, make sure you have your work, yes. But I've seen it a million times, and I've done it a million times, where you just say the things. When you're juicy and open to the moment, man, and it's like the two wings of the bird are like attitude and ideas. So I think you need both of these things. Otherwise, you're just kind of going in a circle. But attitude meaning open mind, and ideas meaning homework. And if you do this with everything, I think you can fly. With interviews, with school, with anything, you just say, I've prepared and I'm improving. I've prepared and I'm improving. And then the reels will all just happen. We'll make those. Trust me, it's all about attracting women.
Right on. It sounds like with that
or someone you're attracted to. Maybe
whoever it is.
For me,
it doesn't matter. Whoever it is, that should be your goal.
And not women plural. I'm thinking of a specific lovely woman.
Oh, that's even,
I'm actually sort of doing
so sweet
for right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, I guess, the note to take away, like, just let things happen, you know, even with your transition, so to speak, like from doing music to comedy. It just kind of like just happened.
It just happened, and here we are. Now I get to do an awesome conversation with you guys. Like, that is so sweet to me, dude. I love doing this kind of conversation. It really is helpful, and it's hard to talk, obviously, and be real and try to say what we're doing and all that, and then be funny or whatever it is. But it's a cool exercise, I think, for all of us. So I'm very honored that you guys would interview me. Thank you.
Of course, so much. It sounds like from the practicing in the background that they've gotten sick of this interview. So I think we can end it here. Thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely.
Thanks, Suki.
Brett Sisun?
Brett Sisun.
Sisun? Yeah.
Yeah,
Brett
we got to
Sisun.
change that. What do you think my stage name should be?
Ooh.
Just Chalamet.
Just Chalamet, the man.
They'll know what it means.
The man formerly known as That's
Get yourself a symbol. You can be like Prince. The man
Oh,
formerly
that's a
known as
great idea,
Chalamet.
Mine'll be like a healer symbol from World of Warcraft.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're here with Healer symbol from World of Warcraft and Caden Suki from KDUP signing off. Thank you guys so much for paying attention. Shout out the Folk Festival 2026. What year is it? Yeah, 2026.
We were going back here, now we're here.
Hopefully we're here next year.
Can I take a photo with you guys?